He is one of the most unique and enigmatic figures in the history of philosophy, whose words continue to educate entire generations, turn knowledge into an advantage with the life lessons of Friedrich Nietzsche. Hope in reality is the worst of all evils because it prolongs the torments of man. I'm not upset that you lied to me. I'm upset that from now on, I can't believe you. Perhaps I know best why it is man alone who laughs. He alone suffers so deeply that he had to invent laughter. The lack of young men is that they think they are more happy or unhappy than they really are. He who cannot obey himself will be commanded. That is the nature of living creatures. The lonely one offers his hand too quickly to whomever he encounters. The snake which cannot cast its skin has to die, as well as the minds which are prevented from changing their opinions. They cease to be mind. To become what one is, one must not have the faintest notion what one is. No one can construct for you the bridge upon which precisely you must cross the stream of life. No one but you, yourself alone. The higher man is distinguished from the lower by his fearlessness and his readiness to challenge misfortune. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusions destroyed. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. A woman brightens up facial flaws with cosmetics, figure flaws with clothes, and mental flaws with married to a smart man. He who has a why to live for can bear almost any how. The true man wants two things, danger and play. For that reason, he wants women as the most dangerous plaything. To feel good in a marriage means to feel good with your spouse's shortcomings. You have your way. I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. Ultimately, it is the desire, not the desired, that we love. He that feeds the hungry refreshes his own soul, says wisdom. A thought, even a possibility, can shatter and transform us. To live is to suffer. To survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. It is nobler to declare oneself wrong than to insist on being right, especially when one is right. Whoever is not capable of either love or friendship, he most certainly makes his bet on marriage. You must be ready to burn yourself in your own flame. How could you rise anew if you have not first become ashes? I was in darkness, But I took 3 steps and found myself in paradise. The first step was a good thought, the second a good word, and the third a good deed. The most spiritual people experience by far the most painful tragedies. But this is precisely why they honor life, because it provides them with their greatest adversities. He who cannot put his thoughts on ice should not enter into the heat of dispute. Many are stubborn in pursuit of the path they have chosen, few in pursuit of the goal. We stop too often at knowing the good without doing it, because we also know the better but cannot do it. Sensuality often forces the growth of love too much, so that its root remains weak and is easily torn up. When we have to change our mind about a person, we hold the inconvenience he causes us very much against him. The secret of reaping the greatest fruitfulness and the greatest enjoyment from life is to live dangerously. I know of no better life purpose than to perish in attempting the great and the impossible. The only thing that makes a marriage unhappy is not a lack of love, it's a lack of friendship. The fewer friends a person has, the more he has the time to be alone with himself, and the happier they feel. The first sign that people gossip about you is when they avoid direct conversations with you. When discussions are happening behind your back, rather than openly and honestly, it may indicate that people choose to talk about you rather than with you. The first sign that a person wants to betray you is the unwillingness to hear your perspective. The advantage of a bad memory is that one enjoys several times the same good things for the first time. I notice that autumn is more the season of the soul than of nature. I cannot believe in a God who wants to be praised all the time. Never share your problems with anyone, because most of them are glad you have those problems, and the rest don't care about them. The strength of a person's spirit would then be measured by how much truth he could tolerate, or more precisely, to what extent he needs to have it diluted, disguised, sweetened, muted, falsified. He who fights monsters might take care, lest he thereby become a monster. Intelligent people struggle with love because they value their freedom and independence. They may not be ready to give up solitude. One must pay dearly for immortality. One has to die several times while still alive. Virtue is the health of the soul. What is great in humans is that it is a bridge and not a goal. What can be loved in humans is that it is a going over and a going under.